Alright, you lot, gather round because I've got a cracking episode lined up for you today. We're diving headfirst into usual blend of gaming rants, utterly baffling questions, and kind of wisdom you'd only get from a Yorkshireman knocked up on caffeine and disdain. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that bollocks. Seriously, helps channel grow, and let's face it, algorithm's a fickle beast. Hit that thumbs up or I'll set me nan on you, and she's not as polite as me. Alright, we got a couple of twonks on tap, cause apparently twonk tap never runs dry. Let's dive right in, shall we? First up, we got Spank Rocket Gaming 294. I mean, bravo on username. It's a masterpiece of keyboard mash and hormonal energy. Spanky here asks, and I quote, "How's XDefiant doing?" Well, Spanky, let me channel me inner Mystic Meg for this one. XDefiant's a game, mate. It's doing game things. Loading up servers, breaking a few, patching bugs, and bringing joy to those of us who actually know how to click play. You could have just Googled it, but no, you came here to flex your knowledge gap in public. It's thriving, by the way. Doing better than your grandma, that's for sure. And then we've got AC3521, another starring galaxy of dim lights. Ace asks killer question. Bro, how much Ubisoft is paying you? Well, Ace, I'd love to say I'm rolling in gold-plated controllers and sipping champagne out of Assassin's Creed mugs. But, spoiler alert, Ubisoft hasn't slipped me so much as a coupon code for DLC. Believe it or not, Ace, people can genuinely support something without getting corporate paycheck. Shocking, I know. But hey, if Ubisoft is listening, feel free to toss me a few quid, lads. I've got expensive tastes in sarcasm. But here's kicker. Comments like these tell me one thing. You're not mad at me. You're mad because your game ain't running at 400 FPS while you're camping back with a sniper rifle named Mom's Basement. Stop blaming devs for your KD ratio, grow a spine, and for love of all that's holy, go outside once in a while. Alright, I'm bored at twonks. Let's move on to normal folk. You know, ones who actually engage the brain cells before smashing the thumbs into the keyboard. This first gem comes from Johan Amelin 1217, who asks a proper banger of a question. If you could be another person for one day, who would you want to become and why? Johan, mate, this one's a Pandora's box of possibilities. My brain's already having a field day with options. Do I go dirty-minded? Full-blown pervert? Or just pick someone who'll give me a break from the relentless joyride that is my life? So many choices and so little time. But hey, let's keep it classy. Or at least pretend to. If I'm going to be proactive, and let's be honest, I'm not always proactive. I'd go for Sir Keir Starmer. You know, guy who managed to turn being beige into a political movement. Why him, you ask? Simple, I'd spent day reversing every dumb decision he's made, starting with, I don't know, lying to people who voted for him? Picture it. I'd walk into Parliament, slap down some common sense, reinstate everything that were promised, and actually get people Brexit they voted for without a side dish of bureaucratic waffle. Then for piece de resistance, I'd step down as Prime Minister, quit as an MP, and leave country in a better shape than it has been in years. All before dinner. But here's fun bit. Imagine the look on everyone's face when Starmer suddenly grows a spine, does something useful, and then yeets himself out of office. Absolute chaos. Twitter would explode. Guardian had run out of adjectives. And Labour voters had collectively short-circuit. A day well spent, if you ask me. Johan, I could have gone with something cheeky, like becoming Jeff Bezos and giving myself a few billion in spare change. Or Ryan Reynolds just to see what being universally adored feels like. But fixing Britain in 24 hours? That's kind of madness I'd sign up for. So who'd you pick? Let me know in comments below. And remember, if you say Elon Musk, you better have a good reason or you're going straight into the twonk pile. Cheers for the question. Well, look who it is. Toniest, coming in hot with a comment that's part Monty Python homage, part modern Marvel, and part subtle jab at my recent downtime. What's airspeed of an unladen swallow? Classic. And yeah, you can Google box that. What a time to be alive, where you got entirety of human knowledge in your pocket and we still spend half a day watching cat videos. Humanity, 10 out of 10. Now as for other bit of your comment, thanks for checking in on me totally non-critical condition that I've been laid up for days. And yeah, I'm on mend, but let's face it, I'm never gonna be 100% again. Age, wear, tear, and years of pouring up with twonks like Spank Rocket Gaming have taken the toll. But silver linings and all that, I got advantage of free healthcare, so at least I don't have to sell a kidney to get help for the first one that's failing. Cheers NHS, you're real MVP. But let's not dwell on me. Back to Unladen Swallow, because it's not every day you get to bust out your nerd credentials in public. For those who didn't already Google box it, here's lowdown. Airspeed of an unladen European swallow is roughly 11 meters per second, or about 24 miles per hour. Meanwhile, African swallows? They're probably too busy dodging predators to be clocked on a radar gun. And before anyone starts, no, this is not educational content. This is just me flexing some random trivia so you can look clever next time someone throws a Python quote your way. So, Tonyist, thanks for the comment, Python throwback and cheeky check-in on my recovery. I'll raise me mug of Yorkshire tea to you, cause while I might not be 100%, my sarcasm levels are still operating at peak performance. Nah, strap in folks, cause this next comment comes from Voidman, Picasso of Chaos, bringing questions that read like they're written after a long night with lads and a bottle of questionable spirits. Voidy says, "Sup Scotty boy, hope you good. With Mr Burns approaching Orion Camo, will it change time it'll take his drunken lad more to complete Dark Matter? But most importantly, Pierre Oud is now in Hall of Fame. Heard you had a lot to do behind this. Shout out to Mr Scotty from one and only Spyware Worldwide." First off, Voidy, mate, you have wildest questions, and honestly, I'm here for it. If this is what's inside your brain on a regular basis, I'm surprised you haven't set up your own channel. Let's unpack this masterpiece. Mr Burns grinding for Orion Camo while Mo stumbles through Dark Matter. Iconic. If we're being honest though, Mo's probably too busy serving Duff beer and crying into a dish rag to ever get into Dark Matter. Meanwhile, Mr Burns has Smithers grinding for him while he sips some 80-year-old scotch and mutters, "Excellent." Moral of the story, don't let rich cheat grind. And then there's Pierre Oud, Hall of Fame you say. Damn right he is. Pierre Oud deserves all recognition and then some. He's a legend, and yeah, I had everything to do with it. Well, not literally, but let's not ruin narrative, eh? I mean, who else could mastermind elevation or an icon? Pierre owes me a pint, or maybe a lifetime of commentary on my gaming sessions. And finally, shout out to one and only Spyware Worldwide. If you're genuinely Spyware, Voidy, you've either just confessed to something criminal, or you've got a brand name I desperately need to hear more about. Are you selling data or just spreading chaos for fun of it? Either way, I respect hustle. So cheers for the comment, Voidman. Keep madness coming. This show thrives on weird and wonderful, and you're gold standard of both. Stay legendary, mate. Just don't let Mo borrow your controller. They'll spill beer on it. Next, eternal question from Silver Bullet 90 3021. Who asks, why does everyone hate on XDefiant and CoD? I get feeling most of these folks griping are just talking out their ass since they stopped playing XDefiant in Season 1, not realising netcode is even better than CoD's at this point. I get a lot of random misses on CoD when I'm trying to shoot enemies, but I play CoD since it's only game my family understands. Silver Bullet, mate, first off, respect for calling it like you see it. Most of these folks moaning about XDefiant or CoD are, indeed, talking out their ass, an activity that seems some sort of national sport for gamers. They stopped playing Season 1, yet they think they've got insider knowledge about game's current state. That's like someone reviewing a restaurant they hadn't eaten at in 3 years because the breadsticks are different now. And you bang on about netcode. XDefiant's been pouring in work, quietly outpacing CoD's spaghetti code matchmaking in many areas. CoD, bless it, is like an aging rockstar, still selling out arenas, but when it comes to hitting rate notes, half the time it's just playing air guitar. Those random misses you're experiencing? That's CoD saying, you're aiming perfectly, but we've decided your bullets need a vacation. Meanwhile, XDefiant's netcode is over here like, here's a headshot, you earned it. But let's not ignore real Gemma in your comment. I play CoD since it's only game my family understands. Now that's a line that needs to go on a t-shirt. CoD is basically gaming's version of football on Christmas Day. Everyone kinda gets it, no one really excels at it, but it's tradition now, so what are you gonna do? Quit and try and explain XDefiant's unique mechanics to Aunt Susan? Nah mate, just keep loading up into radioactive 24/7 with your family and let them think they're killing it. As for hate on XDefiant and CoD, it's simple. People love to complain. If XDefiant were perfect, they'd whine about font in main menu. If CoD suddenly fixed everything wrong with it, they'd be moaning it's too different. Gamers hate change, but also hate things staying the same. It's a paradox. Secret? Ignore noise, play what you enjoy, and let whingers stew in their own misery. So cheers for a comment, Silver Bullet. Hopefully I gave you what you wanted. Next up, Swan62116 on YouTube, who writes, "Hey Scotty, no disrespect at all, but are you using AI for your thumbnails? Cut out for magnificent at end, and your voice as well? Subtitles say thick of it, but you actually said thicker it, but it might be because of your accent. But who knows? AI has been everywhere lately." Ah, Swan, you cheeky little conspiracy theorist, aren't you? First off, let's clear air before tinfoil hat comes out. No AI here, mate. Not for thumbnails, not for cutouts, and definitely not for my glorious voice that sounds like it's been fermented in Yorkshire tea and sarcasm. I whip up thumbnails myself in Canva, because no screams DIY media mogul like dragging and dropping your way to internet stardom. And as for ending on magnificent, that's not AI. That's just me being predictably fabulous. Consistency is key, my friend. Now about this thick of it versus thicker it nonsense. Yeah, I said thick of it. I get it though, my accent could make hello sound like I'm quoting Shakespeare through a mouthful of chips. But you know what? It's part of me charm. Subtitles do the best, but they're as confused by northern dialects as most southerners are. So no robots, no deepfakes, just me and a heap of old school elbow grease. AI might be everywhere, but let's not get credit for everything, eh? Cheers for comments, 162116. This next one's short, sweet and to the point. Pyro Friendly Arsonist 9195 asks age-old question. How's your day going? Well, Pyro, thanks for asking. I'm doing good. Not great, not terrible. Just that Goldilocks middle ground where notes on fire, except perhaps your username. Friendly Arsonist. Sounds like kind of mate who'd like your barbecue for you, but also accidentally torched shed. Today's been one of those days where internet's provided its usual mix of twonks, legends, and occasional existential crisis. But hey, I got my tea, my sarcasm's still sharp, and I ain't rage quit a game all week, so we're chalking that up as a win. How about you, Pyro? You starting any friendly fires today? Or just spreading good vibes one YouTube comment at a time? Either way, appreciate checking. Nice to know someone cares, even if you've probably got a lighter in your hand while you're asking. Hope your day is going well, and if it's not, well, at least you're still alive to leave random comments on YouTube. That's something, right? Alright, you magnificent bunch, listen up for a second before we wrap this up, because I've got some spicy news to drop on your laps. You may have heard whispers, or maybe you haven't, in which case, sit tight, about a little shindig being put together by legend himself for Jack of all trades. Channel link in description. Yep, guys rallying troops for a community event in XDefiant, and guess what? Yours truly has thrown his name into the ring like some overconfident gladiator ready for a public flogging. So far, we've got a solid lineup of 22 creators and counting. Many of them streamers who'll no doubt be sweating their palms off. Plan? Proper tournament in private lobbies. Yeah, very same private lobbies we've all been impatiently waiting for Ubisoft to drop into the game. When they do, it's game on. Now let's not kid ourselves. This will likely involve me getting smacked around like a budget piñata at a rowdy kid's party. But hey, it's all in good fun. Real prize here is laughs, banter, and strengthening the XDefiant community. Because let's face it, gaming's at its best when you're part of something bigger. Whether that's a team, a meme, or a full-blown smack-talking tournament. Details aren't carved in stone yet. There are meetings to be had, plans to finalise, and probably a few chaotic arguments along the way. But rest assured, I'll keep you updated as soon as I've got goods. Until then, sharpen your aim, polish your controller, and prepare to witness me embarrass myself for your entertainment. So stay tuned. And there you have it, folks. Another dive into wild, weird, and downright ridiculous world of Hey Scotty. Whether you're here to rant, learn, or just have a laugh at my expense, I'm glad you stuck around. Now, you know what drill. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and leave your comments and questions below. Who knows? You might just see your name in the next episode. I'll see you next time, you magnificent